are two of them that are non-negotiable. We're going to talk about one of them today, and that's your online presence. Your online presence is the first time people will see you. By nature, everybody Googles. How many of you Google somebody or Google something before you check it out? Right? Mary
Yes.
does. I do. It becomes natural for us. So obviously people are going to Google you, whether they've met you before or especially if they've never met you. So I have a couple of slides to talk about. I don't really do presentations like that, but some of them are some good talking points though. Let me share my screen. All right. Let's see if I can keep it like this so that I can actually see you all, because otherwise if I go into presentation mode in Canva, I can't see anything. All right. All right. So lead generation really does start with your online presence. If you don't look good there, you're going to leave doubt in anybody's mind, and we don't need any reasons at all to have people doubt us. They do it naturally. So what it comes down to is, as you know, 80% of buyers and sellers start their search online. They're going to go, and we're going to talk about AI in a little bit here, but they go online and they see who's out there in the real estate world. So it comes down to, do you get great results, or are they kind of seeing crickets and not really seeing anything at all, or even worse, seeing stuff that's out of date or incorrect? How many of you have you Googled yourself at any time recently? Has anybody Googled themselves? No? Yes? Maybe? Thumbs up? No? Okay. All right. All right. So what this comes down to is the power of perception. So what do people see? Are your photos up to date? Is it a good headshot? Do you know how often you should get your headshot redone? Anybody have any idea, any answer? Every 3 to 5 years. So you always look like you do. Or you can own it. I used to work with an agent, and she would hand her business card to somebody and said, that was my prom picture. It's been a while, and she would get a laugh out of it. But it really does, it's kind of disingenuous if you don't look like what they think. And Mary, I'm sure, can attest to this. I've been in offices where somebody's called and said, you know, hey, there's somebody here at my door, and it doesn't look at all like the person that they said they were I saw them online. So it doesn't build trust. What does your bio say about you? I am a big believer that a bio should really convey to somebody what it's going to mean for them to work with you. Not so much about how much business you've done, and all that's great, but it's really what type of experience are they going to get from you? Are you an excellent negotiation? Can you see things beyond the four walls in a house or property? You really know the towns that you support? What is it about you that's going to resonate with somebody? Because we like to work with people who we have similarities with. So if you're comfortable with it in your bio, include some of your hobbies or things. Where did you go to school? What do you do? You know, are you a pickleball player, or do you love dogs? Excuse me. But if that's part of who you are, people will connect with that. Think about the last time you went to a gathering or a party and you talked to somebody and you had something in common. There's an immediate kinship there that can also come through with your review. And testimonials are critically important, as you all know, because it really does tell you from a different angle and a different perspective, not you telling people how awesome you are, somebody else is. If you're having trouble putting together a bio, take a look at some of those testimonials. See what common themes come out from the people that talk about you, and weave them into your bio. Okay. When you have a moment, actually 5 moments if you can get them, do an audit on yourself. Do a quick Google and see what you come up with. Put your name in, put your name with the real estate agent, you know, as a realtor in it. Start with just your name and see what comes up. If you have a famous name, maybe just add the realtor right away. So I grew up being, my maiden name's Everett. I grew up being Chris Everett. So I would have to put something else to it because I know what I'm going to get otherwise. But see what comes up on top. You know, what is it? Go look at it. Check, make sure your contact information is up to date. I can't tell you, and I do this. Part of one of the services I offer is a full online review, and I Google people and I come up with all those pages, and the number of times phone numbers aren't right, or they're not even there, or the email addresses are out of date, or websites links or social media links don't work. Make sure those work for you, because if somebody can't get to you, they're never going to call you. Unless they love you, and that's different. Your mom will call you, your sister will call you and tell you that you're not up to date. Make sure your bio is up to date and your photos are current. And then the other thing about this is whether you have reviews or not, and I'll get back to this a little bit more, ask for testimonials, ask for reviews. Does anybody know, when do you ask for testimonials? When's the best time that you think to get a testimonial from people? Anybody?
Beginning of the relationship.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. What else do we have?
I think some people, when it's closings,
Closings. I do recommend get it from them after the offer is accepted and you're gonna go to close. The reason why is because they're happy. They're very, very excited. You just made major awesomeness happen for them. What happens after the close? They're moving, right? They're busy. They got all those boxes to deal with. You become not so much a priority, but after that, when that offer is accepted, and not even accepted, but when you're under contract, even better, when you're under contract, that's a great time because you've really gotten them just this close to the finish line. The finish line is the actual closing date, but things get so busy after that. So think about trying that and see if that works for you. Let's talk a little bit about AI. How are any of you using AI in your business at all? Have you thought about it, about how you can be found on AI? I don't know if you got following it. It was announced a couple days ago about how AI is making deals with, like, for instance, Shopify. AI and Shopify have an agreement right now that if when somebody searches for something, they're going to put up Shopify sites before other stores. And people are going to AI to ask questions. For instance, who's the best real estate agent in my area, in X town? Who's the best real estate agent to deal with this, my senior family, my parents or whatever? We need to start to think differently about what we put in our bios. We need to start to ask for them those testimonials if people are going to give them to you, when they give them to you. If you can maybe not lead them, but say, hey, if you think I'm the best real estate agent, please put that in the verbiage because they're searching for that word best. It's kind of like SEO is coming back a little bit, but from an AI standpoint. So do I think AI is going to take away your jobs? Absolutely not. They can't build trust. They can just provide information and provide data. Some of it's accurate, some of it's not. It can help you show up more consistently because it can help you with if you use AI a lot, it gets to know your voice and it can help you in your writing and things. And it will continue to determine who gets to be seen first online. People are going there and they're not Googling like they used to. Google has incorporated, you've seen it when you go to Google something now, it says an AI concept. Because if you use it, they come up and give you what, 5-10 search results in a capsule very quickly. It's very attractive versus having to go to 10 sites to get your information. You go to one place and get it. So think about that as you put your bio together. Think about that as you talk to your clients. And I am a big fan of hyperlocal business, and I think the AI world is going to reinforce that because it's going to be, hey, who does great business in this town, right? And if you do okay business in this town and okay business in a couple of towns, might be good for your business. But if you really want to be hyperlocal and that's your strategy, think about that as you work into your bio, all your marketing material and everything else. Any questions about AI? It is ever changing. I am learning something new about it every day. But any questions about from where we are at the moment? Okay. Maybe you guys know more than I do. All right. Okay. So you really don't need to be on every platform. You just need to be really good, excellent on the ones that you are on, which means that all your I's are dotted, all your T's are crossed. The message is consistent. And what I mean by that is that the theme about who you are as a real estate agent will come through no matter what they read. You can change. So I'm a big fan of having your website a little bit different, maybe going into a little bit more depth about who you are and about your business on your About Me page of your website, and keep the other ones a bit shorter, like your Zillow profile, your realtor.com profile. All those other ones can be a little bit more concise and you can expand upon that on your website. But keep in mind the theme is who are you and what's it going to be to work with you. That needs to be interwoven through all of your bio and frankly your marketing as well. Because in that way there's consistency there and they know what to expect. Visible. You don't need to be on every site. And one of the things I come across when I do audits on people is they're on so many sites they don't even remember. And they could be with a previous brokerage. They could have, like I said before, bad information. Where you choose to be, make sure it fits what you're doing. Sometimes being spread too thin is not going to be a good strategy for you because one, it's hard to keep track of it all. But there's some sites that really do matter. Zillow, Homes.com, Realtor.com. Do a search in your open up a Google page and search, real homes for sale in or real estate in pick a town and see which ones come up to the top. Sometimes it's Realtor.com is the first one. Sometimes it's Zillow. Homes.com is making good inroads. I don't know if they've actually cracked that yet. I have not seen it in any of the areas that I'm working in, but they're working towards that and spending significant amount of money on that. So lean into those because if people are saying, homes for sale in and Zillow or Realtor.com has a stronghold there, make sure that you really make your bios and your profiles look good. Like in realtor.com, I don't know if you have, and most people don't, there's a banner you can put up there. It looks so much nicer with a banner than it does without. And be relatable, talk to people. Because the whole goal for you is to build a relationship and to have a conversation. And when somebody thinks you as being relatable, it's so much easier versus I worked with a small team and they had to change their tagline to from castles to condos because they were losing business because they worked mostly in that high end, hence the castles. But they had people that they had worked with before that they didn't come to them about condos for their children who are looking to buy their first home. So it's a matter of the best you can relate to people about what you do. They'll remember you, and that's also they weren't working on their sphere. That's the second non-negotiable of my list. We could talk about that another time, but just be you. And it works better. It just because just think about how you connect with people and where it goes. Have you guys has anybody, I think I before, has anybody actually Googled themselves in the most recent time, like in the last couple of weeks, months? Anybody? Guess what you should do this afternoon then, or later this morning. Take a few minutes to go Google that. Oh, I got a chat.
I've
No,
definitely not Googled, but I did use the chat, the free version, to see who were the top agents in a certain area because I was supporting a big team, and so they did appear, but it was like one, two, three.
1, 2, 3, yeah. So, and I don't know, and I did this a couple weeks ago. I looked and I picked a couple different towns, and I picked Hoboken because there's a lot of agents, and I happen to have worked with a very large team in Hoboken. They didn't come up, and they're one of the top producers of volume, but they didn't come up when you said who's the best real estate agent in Hoboken. They weren't there. I think she'd be really upset if she didn't show, but that proves that sometimes that I did Digger Deep Dive, she did come up, but that first one, when you said the best, I had not heard of any of them at all. So it gives you guys an opportunity to interweave that into, and think about really what your specialty. If you're first time home buyers, that's what you do, or you're downsizing sellers, think about what you're really good at and factor that into your verbiage so that way you'll come up higher even versus just competing with the quote unquote overall best. You're the best first time home buyer. You're the best move up real estate agent. You're the best agent to go from a condo to a single family home. Whatever it is that you really want to do, think about incorporating that into your verbiage and your marketing. Any questions for me about any of this? No?
I did want to make a comment. I think that a lot of times we are looking at Zillow, and hopefully we're working on our Google page, but I kind of always forget realtor.com. I realize like my photo's not on there, and a lot of agents' information is definitely not on there. So just I think for a note for everyone that's on the call, do check your realtor.com profile. You'll be surprised how little information you have on there.
It's a very good point, and it is one of the it's one of the top ones. You can't walk away from it. And where you guys are, a lot of you may be NJMLS, they have profiles too. So make sure your NJMS profile goes up. Maybe touch on Google Business. Google Business is its own conversation, really, but what it's imperative that you're there. They have just I literally saw it yesterday afternoon, but they have launched. You know how if you get verified on Google, you can show up in their map. They're now starting to sell direct ads that are something different than what you could get through like a third party concept for real estate agents in order to be pinned on the map. I like I said, I didn't get to go deep into it because it wasn't a priority for today, but it is, there's things ever changing. So think of your Google profile almost like another social media. Your business page is almost as another social media. Put pictures up there. Have, even if you don't get somebody to ask you a question, you put up a question, then you answer it. Hey, here's one of the most common questions I get, and then answer it. Google wants, Google has always wanted to be able to provide people that search on it with authentic and realistic answers. So the more somebody interacts with Google, the more they think and believe that there's an authenticity there and a reality there. So it's like a ping pong game. You know, if you hit the ball, to them, they hit it back and you let it go past you and you don't pick it up, they're not going to serve back. They're not going to serve another ball at you. You need to go back at them. So it's a little bit different than social media, but definitely include it into your activities. If you have an open house, create an event and put it in there as an open house. You know, if you know, pictures of the properties that you represent, pictures of the town. If you like, go back to the hyper local, to be really known in a town, you know, put up pictures of the town, put pictures of you throughout the town, an event in the town. It just, the more you interact with it, the, I won't say bigger, but the better it's going to be for you.
Chris, and there are a few, many agents on this call that are not in the NJMLS territory. So just a reminder that they should be looking at their Garden State, they should be looking at Old Jersey MLS, any profile that they have, right, out there. I'm not sure, I'm primarily New Jersey too, so, but they should take that into consideration and see if they have the opportunity to update that profile there also.
Yeah, absolutely, friend. As far as I know, NJMLS is one of the only ones that has a public profile. Garden State does not. I don't think Ocean does. Central Jersey might, but it's really NJMLS, the only one that has had a public profile. It's buried. But even if you're going to do, if you're not going to send people to your website for searches, you're going to send them to your MLS, and there's a picture there. Make sure that picture's legit. Make sure your email's up to date. You know, really. And do this if you're really active. I would do this every 6 months. If you're if you know it's good once a year, you know, pour yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. If you're old enough to drink, maybe an adult beverage, and Google yourself and see what you come up with. Or call me. I'll do it for you. I'll help you through it all. Okay. So any other questions for me? I could belabor points, but I don't think it's all that necessary unless but the last thing is, so next steps is schedule a 30-minute digital cleanup this week. Go take the 30 minutes and Google yourself. And what I do is when I search, I'll search for somebody and I open up a tab for each instance I find of somebody, and then I go back and I record all the information in there. So if you're really active, that could take 45 minutes to go look at it all. If you're more concise, then it's, you know, a half hour is probably pretty good. And then the challenge is redoing your bio, making sure your photo's good, and remembering how to get into all those sites. That's usually the biggest challenge to go. Ask some clients for reviews. If somebody has a Gmail account, my recommendation is absolutely positively send them to your Google business page. If they don't, then send them wherever you want to send them, because or else they would have to create a Gmail account. And my guess at this day and age, if somebody doesn't have a Gmail, it's because they don't want one. Since they are so easy to get. And, you know, as I said, contact with me. You can scan that QR code. It'll bring you to my website, and you can check out what all the different products I have and offerings. And what else can I answer you guys?
Audrey has a question. Audrey,
Yep.
if you could unmute yourself.
Hi, Audrey. I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you?
She's muted. Audrey,
She's
you're
sad.
muted. There
Can
we
you hear
go.
me now?
Now we can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm well, Audrey, and yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. Is your contact information the same?
Yeah, my cell phone's saying absolutely. Yep.
Okay. I have a question though with regards to reviews. If you have somebody who's worked with you, but they did not do a review, and it's taken a little while. I've had people who've told me that it's been an issue for them to put the review. I guess it depends on where they're putting it on, because it does ask them some questions about timing and all that. So I'm not sure what they see on their end. But do you know anything about that?
It may depend, Audrey, as you said, where they are. So some places tie it to a transaction. So it needs to, from an authenticity standpoint. So realtor.com has two options. One that's tied to the actual transaction, and another one is called something different, but it's just purely all about how wonderful you are. So like a Google review won't tie to anything, but I believe Zillow will, realtor.com has that option. I believe homes.com does too. So it could be just what they're up against. So if they have a Gmail, see if you can get them to go to your Google business profile and put it there, because they won't ask. That's just open.
Okay.
I
Thank-
remember trying to do like a test a review for an agent in Zillow. So if you're an industry person, they won't allow you. And also if you write something very, if your client just says she's a great agent, and if it's not specific, and like you said, Audrey, like if it's not linked to something or something specific, then definitely they won't publish that or they won't allow it. Google
Because
is more open.
yeah, they want it to be authentic, so they really want people, even on Etsy, you gotta rate more than it, you can't say it's a lovely product, you gotta have a certain number of words. So they're looking to have some weight to them, but
Great.
Bill, I like your background. You look very tropical where you are, which is lovely.
With Zillow, they often have requirements not to be too lengthy also. I know I've had a few clients who said they were too long, they were required to go back and redo it.
Yeah, it's too wordy, because one, people will read it when it's too wordy, but from that standpoint, it's lovely because they have so much awesome things to say about you. And if you can, no matter where those testimonials and those reviews come in, if there's the opportunity for you to reply to it, do so. Go back in and thank them for it. Go back in and maybe frame it a little bit. So if you help somebody sell their house and it was particularly challenging, own that a little bit. Say, hey, you know what? We had some hurdles we had to overcome. We had some bumps in the road, but you know what? We worked together and smoothed them out. Too often, real estate agents do not take enough credit for how hard you work and what you do. And unless we share that with our clients, they'll never know. So it's okay to kind of to show that, hey, this wasn't peachy keen, easy peasy. We had to work for it, but you know what? I'm the person that got you to the finish line because I did this, and this. So it's a part of the storytelling that is really important and part of the whole world of marketing, and what people are looking for is what
So
story.
you think replying to reviews is very important?
Yeah, I believe replying to reviews is very important. It give it back, and it's because think about this: when somebody hands you a gift, right? And then when you think about it, testimonial, a good one is, in some respects, it's a lovely gift. It's, and then you don't come back with that thank you or that appreciation for that gift. They're kind of like, well, what the heck,
No, I do it individually to them personally, but not on the site. So you're
I would
saying
do
do it on
both.
the site.
I would do both. Why not? If you could do it on the site, why not?
Chris, you've always taught me, that if you do reply, Google kind of recognizes you as a legitimate business. And so
Yep.
that's definitely what I, teach my
Yep.
agents too. So if you're not responding, they don't think it's good business practice. So they're not going to promote you as much. So definitely respond.
Definitely. Yep. Yeah, they have to go back to ping pong. They want somebody to play ball with. If you're gonna play ball with them, And I say ping pong because a lot of times ping pong is easy to miss those balls, but you can find them in the corner someplace and start the game all over again.
We do have a question. I don't know if we can answer it, Chris. It's a specific question. It says, I just transferred to Lofty. Are you familiar with Lofty, Chris?
I've heard of it, but not
Yeah.
that I don't have anybody that's currently using it.
And maybe anyone else in the call can answer, can I forward testimonials or leads to Lofty?
As a rule, most websites won't allow you to transfer. They want the individuality of it and going in, because the rest, hey, I could take all mine and dump them someplace else. So I would be surprised if that was an option, being that, and I can go look it up and I can get back to you and let you know.
Yeah.
But normally they don't, like Google won't let, Zillow won't let you transfer reviews from them to, you know, you can copy paste, but you still have to have the authenticity of it, because the rest, it's almost like a fake bot.
Great.
So thank you very much for letting me be with you all this morning. I really enjoyed it. If you have any questions, Mary has my contact information. It's also on that website. Feel free to reach out. My cell phone, if you want to jot it down, is 551-427-6776. It's a good one,
Say
right?
it again, Chris. 551.
551-427-6776. I probably should put that on the slide, but hey.
Okay, great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
See you next time. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Mary. Talk to you. Bye.